Alright everyone, good morning. Mitchell back here on my MI Sports Talk YouTube channel. This is my reveal of the CBS Sports Bracket for this week. It's posted a few days late, but I still remembered, and it's still going to be posted right now. So without any further ado, I present to you the one from February, whatever it was this week here. I have the wrong board actually, so I think I made a couple. Yep. Yeah, this is the right one. It says January 10th of 2020. Excuse me on that, but it is as of February 10th of 2020. Here is your reveal. In the South region, we have our #1 overall seed Baylor Bears against Norfolk State and Robert Morris. And Robert Morris, as you guys maybe didn't remember, they did beat Kentucky the year after their undefeated season ended against the Badgers of Wisconsin. But I don't see the 16th seed ain't gonna happen this year. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing a UMBC upset just like when Virginia went down to them. So we'll take Baylor there, and then I have my Michigan Wolverines beating Xavier in a very, very close matchup because Xavier really comes out to play in the tournament. And then Kentucky, I do not have Stephen F. Austin pulling out the upside. I think Calipari's squad's just too much for them. I think they're going to lay an egg, and they're going to run out of gas there. But I think Creighton will also win too, and that's going to be a good 4 versus 5 matchup. I have my Michigan Wolverines upsetting Baylor, and this is for right now. And if they really show in the Big Ten tournament what they can do and what they can do to maybe improve their seeding, I think they can maybe go 2 or 3 rounds in the tournament. But that's what I'll have for right now. And then I have Kentucky winning as a 5 seed to go to the Sweet 16. And then I have them also beating Michigan because I know how Kentucky can really beat teams in the tournament. Aaron Harrison shot 3 times to 3 different teams. It's their tough moments, but I have them making the Elite 8. So now down here, I have an upset here. I have Northern Iowa beating Illinois. I really like what they're doing right now, and they might be in a low middle end conference, but I just think they're playing really good basketball, and they're really preparing for NCAA tournament time. And I think they are also going to beat the Tigers of Auburn to go to the Sweet 16. And Auburn's the defending regional champion out of the East, I believe, but I have them going down early so far. So yep, I have that one. And then the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, for the first time since 1979, they will be in the tournament, and that'll be a special time for them to watch their team in the NCAAs. But I have them beating Arkansas, and that's going to be a good game. And then Louisville will end their run just because Louisville, under their first-year head coach, they're just very built and competitive. And I think they will also play Kentucky in the Elite 8, and I think Kentucky will also beat them. So congratulations, Kentucky. You will be your regional champions for the South. And then as far as the West goes, we have the Gonzaga Bulldogs playing South Dakota State. And I tell you what, I think South Dakota State's been in the tournament quite a bit, and I think they really know how it's done. But I don't think it's gonna be an upset either. But I'm gonna keep them in mind just in case. I mean, it's worthwhile for sure. And then I have Oklahoma beating Purdue, and Purdue just without Carson Edwards, they're barely in the tournament. I still call them as a bubble team, even though it's a 9. And I completely say it right because they are laying an egg, and I just don't think they have the legitimate shooter like him. And then that Haas guy that used to be there, he was a freaking stud. And yeah, I think Oklahoma will pull it out. I have Liberty beating Oregon and against Peyton Pritchard, but I'm probably going to change that for this next week bracket. But yep, I have Liberty getting that one for a second year in a row for an upset. And Villanova will beat Vermont, and then Liberty's run will end in the Sweet 16 against a tough Villanova squad. And Gonzaga will also beat Villanova for the spot in the Elite 8. And Arizona, I think will defeat Wichita State. West Virginia will beat Bowling Green. Wisconsin will beat USC, but I do not have them pulling out an upset. I did have them in the Final Four last time, but I do not see them beating Maryland out of the Big Ten. So I think Maryland will be in the Elite 8, but the Zags with Mark Few and all their experience in the NCAA tournament and losing to North Carolina a few years ago, I think they are going to get their trip back in the Final Four, and Gonzaga will be your regional champions for the West. And then this is a true upset bracket. I have Virginia going to the Elite Eight, so I would have them beating Arizona State first in the first four, and they're a really tough first four team that they get in. And I have them beating Marquette. They're truly contenders. Diakite's back, and And then he made that all-time assist to Kyle Guy for overtime, and they ended up beating Purdue, going back to Purdue. I think with them being in the tournament field, people are gonna really have to watch out for them. Now, Chris Barrett's squad upsetting San Diego State in the third round, and then it will be a rematch in the national championship game. But Virginia, I think, will have too much for Texas Tech as they're missing Jarrett Culver, and I think Virginia truly has the more talent, and they can improve their seeding, actually, with the ACC tournament coming up. We'll really see there. So for this other bottom half, it sums up. I do not have New Mexico State pulling it out. Lamar Stevens and Penn State, they're going to be a tough Big Ten team before losing to Virginia, but they're truly going to be contenders, and they're prone to make a few rounds in the NCAA, and I think they'll have enough to beat them. And then I have Rhode Island. Rhode Island could have beat Oregon a few years ago, and Michigan could have had a better chance at the Elite Eight game. That was the 2017 season. Michigan only lost to them by 1. It was very devastating to see them lose like that. I have Rhode Island beating them, and then Seton Hall with Obi Toppins for Dayton. But they have this one stud from Seton Hall. I think he's gonna tear it up, and they'll end Rhode Island's Cinderella run. Then I have LSU without Tremont Waters. Hear that again. Without Tremont Waters, they will defeat Duke. They will first defeat Indiana, which is actually a really tough game. But then I have them finally beating Duke, because Duke should have easily lost to North Carolina. They lost to Stephen F. Austin. I think in the tournament they're truly ready to choke. I just think they know how it goes sometimes. South Carolina beat them as a 7th seed, so that's another hint, because I forgot South Carolina was beating them as a 7th seed. So I was very smart taking them for a Sweet 16 pick, and with their experience, and I think they will truly go to Elite Eight. I will have them being your East Regional champion, so LSU will be in the Final Four for the East, and that finals is in New York. In the Midwest region, I have Kansas, and BYU is a very tough team. I was about to pick them, but I think Kansas with Bill Self's squad, I think they're going to be truly, legitimately ready for the NCAA tournament. And then Butler, I don't know if I trust them too much, but I ain't going to trust East Tennessee State to beat them. I mean, you can't really say much more than that. And I think Colorado will be very tough for them, and Colorado will also advance to the Sweet 16. And they'll really challenge Kansas. I'm serious. They really have a lot of size with their team, and they have a lot of talent in their conference, and they truly will put up a fight with them in that round. Michigan State will beat Utah State and VCU. Florida State will beat Winthrop. Ohio State will get another first-round win against Stanford. I know I wrote a little bad there, but that's the Stanford Cardinal. And Dayton will beat Little Rock, and I also have Dayton beating Ohio State. And then Obi Toppin and Dayton's run, I think, will end in the Sweet 16, just because they don't have enough competition than Florida State truly does, and Florida State will advance to Elite Eight, and that will be against, that'll be against Kansas, I got that right. So that's against Kansas in the Elite Eight. So then I have Kansas going to the Final Four, and LSU's run definitely has to end sometime. I don't see a 7th seed winning it this year, so we will have a battle of 2 number 1 seeds in Kentucky in the Final Four, but eventually they're going to run out of it too. And they were an 8th seed the year they beat Michigan, Louisville, and Wisconsin, and they lost in the national championship game to Chipaz, Napier, and UConn. It's truly going to be that fun of a tournament, folks. We'll really have to see, but I have Kansas finally pulling it out for the first time since 2008 when they won it, I believe, in Houston. That was a very good game my freshman year of high school, so it'll be the first time since then where they will be the national champions. So mark that down that I picked Kansas this week, and hope you guys enjoyed and have a good rest of your day. See you next time on my channel.